I'm telling Ontario, do not accept Doug, the domesticated house slave Ford's sob story. Don't accept his apology. Don't accept nothing from that fraud, that piece of trash. He's there now coming up on TV. I'm so sorry. I got it wrong. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, Doug. Shut up. I don't believe you. You're only sad because your poll numbers are going down, and now you want to come up with this little sob story with your little crocodile tears. I don't forgive you. You want to now? Let's look at something here, Mr. Engineer. Put up this screen here. Look at Doug the Domesticated House Slave Ford's poll numbers. Okay, they've been going to now. Look, I don't believe polls too much. Okay, but polls are for strippers. I've already said that. But now he sees the writing on the wall. People are getting sick of him. People are tired of him. And this is mostly from his own people, you know. This is from his own people. Look, his poll numbers were 19, 18, 17. Those are all the liberals who said, yeah, we have now gotten Ford by the balls. We have him by the nutsack now. But now that he's exposed his weakness by backtracking on that illegal order to have police officers do random checks on people, and he still hasn't back down on it fully. So his apology is fake. His Solicitor General said the police can still stop random people and ask their business if they feel that they are going to a party. And I informed and I instructed, or I suggested, I advised the police of Ontario, don't have reason to suspect people are doing anything wrong, because really they're not. And you know this is crap. So don't harass people. Don't. But you know, now the liberals and the people who thought that they control Doug, which they still do, but he exposed his weakness, so now he's damaged goods to them. So now they're going back to where they came from. Mr. Engineer, I want you to put up the video of Doug, the domesticated house slave Ford, coming up with some fake crocodile tears. Mr. Engineer, can you find that video, please? Okay, now I understand we have that video now. So let's review this here. Let's review this.
People telling me their stories, the stories that could make you cry, families that haven't been able to hold hand. Hold on, folks. I apologize.
Shut up, Doug. Shut up with your stupid crocodile teeth. That's fake crying, first of all. Let's rewind that. Let's rewind that.
People telling me their stories, the stories that could make you cry, families that haven't been able to hold hand. Hold on, folks. I apologize.
Get him off the air.
Holding back tears here, the premier apologizing, saying it was a mistake to impose random police stops, close playgrounds. Ford now also pledging to implement paid sick days after ignoring health experts' calls to do so for months. We are standing by live right now.
So let's just pause there. Shut up, news person. Shut up. Shut up, news person. Shut up. Now, Doug is doing this now after ignoring people's plea. People were begging him, pleading with him. Paid sick leave, paid sick leave. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Please, Doug. You're shutting down my business. You're shutting down my store over a virus that kills less than 1% of the freaking people who get this virus. Less than 1% of people who get this virus die. And you're shutting down my business. You're shutting down my, at least give me paid sick leave. Doug said, no, because I've got the people in my pocket. They're going to believe everything I say. They're going to do everything I say. I'm ahead 17% in the polls. And now that the libtards are abandoning me, just like everybody said they would. You know, I bent over backwards for the liberals and for the control freaks and the New World Order, and now they're abandoning me. Now I'm going to come crawling back to the people. I'm so sorry. didn't even see tears in his eyes. Shut up. Let's continue here.
At Queen's Park, and the big question here: can the Ford government restore public trust as we?
No, not from me.
Wait. For reaction to yesterday and what is ahead, I'm joined now by Lloyd Rang, a political speechwriter and president of Lloyd Rang Communications. Lloyd, good morning to you.
Morning, Mel. How you doing?
Doing well. And I should note that you have over 20 years of speechwriting experience from that very building there, Queen's Park. If you've written for premiers like Wynne and Harris, and so you're very used to what we saw yesterday. I want to get your initial take. Did you expect that yesterday?
No, I mean, no, nobody did. I mean, the premier got verklempt, and I don't think we've seen that before. I mean, he had a really bad day at work, actually really bad week at work, and I guess most people can relate to that. You know, there was the closures of parks, and then extending police powers, and then having to roll that back again, and then you know, half his cost.
Let me pause this again for a second. I'm going to tell you something. If Doug Ford's poll numbers had not gone down, you would not hear a single word from him. And if the police officer said, no, we're not going to go through with this. We're not going to stop random people on the street to find out where they live and what their address is and what they're doing out in the street over a virus that kills less than 1% of people who get. If the police officers didn't stand up to Doug, the domesticated house slave Ford, who I still say should have died instead of his honorable brother, Rob. I don't care how many people say that's cruel. It's true. He's been cruel to this province. He has chosen not to listen to this province. He has been arrogant. He has been disgusting. He's called us yahoos. He said he's insulted vast amount of people. He has abused people. He sent his police officers to arrest me and abuse other people. And I'm supposed to fall for his little sob story. Doug Ford, you can kiss my ass. You can kiss my ass. You can cry me at Niagara Falls if you want. You're a piece of shit. I will never forgive you, Doug. You can cry blood for all I care. I'll never forgive you. If those police officers hadn't stood up to Doug, Doug would not be fake crying worse than, I mean, he makes Meghan Merkel look like a D-list actress. I mean, I didn't think that anyone could fake cry better than her, but that fake cry from Doug, my gosh, man, he should get an Oscar for that. This fake crime business. If the police hadn't stood up to him, and if his poll numbers hadn't gone down, you wouldn't hear a single. He would still be up there saying, "I'm the premier, I'm the boss. You're gonna listen to me, and F you. I've got most of the people on my side. They're all brainwashed. Nobody wants to listen to Arana Nation. Nobody will listen to Kevin. No one will listen to the rebel, and will bully them and will arrest them. And I can get away with everything because the people of Ontario are a bunch of chumps." Well, I'll tell you something. If you actually believe this sob story, then maybe you are chumps. I ain't believing it. Let's continue with this now. Keep talking.
Wants more closures, and the other half doesn't. And his poll numbers are dropping like a rock. I mean, you know, that's a tough week, right? And so I can understand that, and I think most people can.
Okay, so let's talk about timing. The big announcement was on a Friday. Yesterday, we saw this apology. So what happened in those days in between when it comes to his communications and his team?
Well, I mean,
by the way, let me just pause. Just shut up, you idiots. Shut up. Let me just say, the media is no better either. Okay, these guys, they're no better. These are his mouthpiece. Okay, these are the mouthpieces of New World Order. I'm just playing this up so that we can see what the enemy is talking about and see what they're doing. Because I'll tell you, they're not giving up, okay? We have won a major victory. This week belongs to us, but these guys are still going back in the bunker. They think now they have lost on the aggressive front, but now they're going to use the emotional front, coming out in tears, pretending like they're for the people. I'm not going to fall for it. And if you fall for it, you're just as bad as Doug. You're just as bad as Justin Ataki and Mac Daddy Trudy. You're just as bad as all of them. Don't fall for this sob story.
And that's the challenge for him. And you can always count on this government to do the right thing eventually after, you know, people kind of call them out on it. And that's exactly what's been happening, right? I mean, you know, since February alone, this government's actually voted down paid sick leave 19 times. And it's only after people started, you know, saying, you know, like really demanding it, and the heat got turned up that he kind of, is moving to do the right thing. And, like essential workers needed this a year ago. And so, as much as he's being emotional now, and it's totally authentic and totally appreciated, but the time to
No,
be
no, no, no.
emotional.
Let me pause this here. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him, but now they're gonna pretend like this guy is some kind of expert. I've never heard of this guy before with his female glasses on. I don't know if he borrowed his wife's glasses. Let me look at this guy's glasses. This guy looked like he just borrowed his wife's glasses to put on and go on to the program. No, this is not genuine. You're an idiot if you think this is genuine. This guy's poll numbers is going down. And so now he's coming out with the sob story. He's trying to come to us, to people like me who used to support Doug, and people like you. Let me tell you, this sob story is for us because we've abandoned him. His poll numbers are going down. Not only has the media party abandoned him and the New World Order have abandoned him because now he has damaged himself. So now they're going back to the liberals. Remember, let me show you. Let me show you again. Do we still have his poll numbers? Okay, we don't have them anymore. But I showed you his poll numbers. The libtards who thought they could control Doug, they're now abandoning him and going back to the liberals because Doug exposed his weakness and now he's damaged goods to them. So they've disregarded him. He's like trash to them. It's like throwing away a piece of paper or throwing away a banana peel. He's done to them. He's useless to them. They're going back to their own tribe. And now Doug Ford is trying to crawl back to us. He abandoned us. He beat us. He abuses us, just like a woman or a man, who dumps her boyfriend and tries to go for the guy with lots of money and a Mercedes, but then he ends up cheating on her and abusing her. So then she wants to come crawling back to her original boy. But the boy, if he's got balls, will say, no, you cheated on me, you abandoned me. I don't want you back anymore. You're damaged good. Your pussy's been tampered with. I don't want you anymore. I don't want you. So we have to be strong. We have to have a spine and say, no, Doug Ford, you abandoned us. You stabbed us in the back. Piss off. We're done with you. I won't be voting for Doug. I'll vote for a minor party. I'll hope that Doug gets a minority and he has to be controlled by one or two MPPs from either the New Blue Party or Libertarian or Trillium or whatever, probably New Blue, if they can put candidates in all the ridings. But I'm hoping for a minority piece, just like in 1979 when Joe Clark had to rely on the Social Credit Party for power, either a minority conservative or a minority liberal that is propped up by a minor right-wing party. And if people don't think that's possible, take a look at 1979, take a look at 1993. It's very, very easy when Canadians get ticked off enough to start voting in parties that never had a prayer in the beginning, like Social Credit and Reform. It's not that hard to do. And I hope, knock on wood, the next election will be one of those. I don't think people shouldn't vote, because if you don't vote, you're basically surrendering. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going back to Doug. Doug Ford is trying to crawl back to us with his fake crocodile sob story, tears. I'm not buying it.
And like essential workers needed this a year ago. And so, as much as he's being emotional now, and it's totally authentic and totally appreciated, but the time to be emotional about this was like a year ago. Mm-hmm. And I think most people understand that. And like was said in the previous segment, he hasn't been listening to the experts. He hasn't been following through, and people will forgive, a premier for making tough choices and strong decisions. What they won't forgive is waffling and flip-flopping and not knowing where the government's at from day to day. And that's really the problem.
Lloyd, before I ask you about the what's next, if you were to help with yesterday's press conference, what would you have done differently?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because the premier is experiencing, home isolation for the first time, using a laptop for the first time. I think I would have done it like this, right? Like this is something, relatable. Like most of us can appreciate Zoom calls. I would have done it with that style. would have ditched the script. I wouldn't have done it in a huge backyard when people aren't able to go outside and enjoy the outdoors in Toronto and are kind of stuck inside. That's the way I would have done it. And I think, just it's a little bit more authentic, right?
Lloyd, on a more serious note, we're talking about the strategy, the communications behind it, but there are lives at stake here. So we really need to consider the science here when he makes his decision moving forward. How big of a runway are we talking for the public in earning that trust back and ensuring that
let me stop here. Let me stop here for a bit. This woman is saying, trust the science. Let me tell you something. If I ever hear that from someone one more time, I'm going to slap them upside down. I mean, this is a woman, so I'm not going to do that. And I shouldn't say that. Forgive me. But you can't just say trust science and just completely disregard common sense. And I think that's the reason why we're in this mess to begin with. Doug, the domesticated house slave Ford, was probably told by someone that you need to allow police officers to go after anybody at any time, anywhere, and all this sort of stuff because, hey, science says so. It'll keep us safe. That is nonsense. That is not common sense. And common sense will eventually prevail one way or another. And the later it does prevail, the worse the outcome will be for those who try to disregard it. She's basically trying to say, trust the experts. And I've said this time and time again. I may not have a PhD. I may not be a doctor. I may not have graduated from Yale or Harvard or U of T or Brock I graduated from CDI College. Thank you very much. I'm proud of it. I wouldn't have had it any other way. But I'll tell you something. While I have not changed my belief on this whole situation from day one, Fauci, Tam, Ford, Trudeau, Biden, Harris, all of the world leaders out there in Europe, Africa, Asia, they've all changed their planning or their mind on this virus at one time or another. They've all flipped and flopped and done backwards flips and frontwards flips. I haven't changed once. And most of the population is slowly coming on my point of thinking and slowly turning away from their point of thinking. And the experts are not always right. The doctors and the medical physicians and all those people used to think you could catch AIDS by sitting on toilet seats. The medical experts used to think that washing your hands was not acceptable. And now they've been all proven wrong. So when you say trust science, that can only take you so far. Common sense cannot be disregarded. And if you do it, you're going to end up hurting yourself and hurting the people who are under you, especially if you are a politician or a leader. So don't give me this crap about science and all this BS. You were wrong before and you're wrong now, media. So let's finish. I'm getting kind of tired of watching this city news, but let's finish this up.
Oh, the right steps will be taking moving forward.
Well, year's a really long time in politics, and it's a year till the next election. And the premier has tons of opportunities to turn this around. But what he needs to do is he needs to listen to the experts. He needs to be consistent. He needs to go out with a message that sounds real and authentic. He can't be scripted. He's got to be himself, in other words. And the guy that he was during the campaign last time was the premier that most people want to see. So I think what they want to see from him is real action and consistency, and that's what he needs to do over the next year.
Okay, Lloyd Rang, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for this.
Awesome.
Take care of yourself. All right, 7:10 is what we're sitting at right now. Where you join the gang over there.
I think that I think Doug Ford is done. Oh, knock on wood. I hope he is. I really do hope he is. He's not worthy of my support, certainly. I want to see if we can, Mr. Engineer, if we can find Doug Ford's full apology. I don't know if we can find that anywhere on the web, his full apology there where he's fake crying and all that stuff. Let's see if we can find that. Okay, can we find that somewhere on online? I want to react to it. Okay, so I hear now that we have found it. So, Mr. Engineer, if you could be so kind to share the screen again, please. Okay, here's Doug the Domesticated. Look at all these dislikes here. And this is Toronto Star, apparently. Let's look what this fool had to say in full.
The stories that could make you cry, families that haven't been able to hold hand.
I bet your family has.
I apologize.
What a fake. What a fake. By the way, you know what I can't stand about politicians in this country? Why don't politicians think it's appropriate to not wear a tie? If you're going to be a politician, if you're going to be a premier, I think you should wear. I hate this whole tieless. I don't know if they think it's cool or if it's hip. I think it's disgusting. I think it's disgusting. Put on a tie, boy. What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be the premier of a province, and you're there with your shirts unbuttoned, thinking that you're some kind of hippie or something. Put on a damn tie, boy. Who you think you are? You think you're some boy off the corner, or you some Woodstock? Put on a tie. Put on a tie. Put on a tie. Dress properly. You're supposed to be the premier of Ontario. Dress for it.
Hold the hand of their mom or dad as they passed away because of COVID-19 restrictions in hospitals.
That were unnecessary.
Healthcare workers who are being pushed to the absolute limit, working to save lives. I want you to know that I hear you. I understand you're going through. I understand your frustration. I'm sorry we acted too quick on the measures. All I hear is limit mobility, and we move too quick. But anytime, if I make a mistake, I correct it immediately.
No, you don't. You don't correct it immediately. You have been making the same mistake for a year now, and you have been arrogant to the 10th degree. You have bullied the Rebel News. You have gotten many people arrested. You've disrupted many lives. You've had many people lose faith in the police. You have sent police out to assault people of Ontario in the worst possible ways. You've been doing this for over a year now, and you've gotten Randy Hillier removed from caucus, Romaine Barber moved from caucus, Belinda Caraholis, or whatever her name is, removed from caucus. And the only reason you were doing that with that big, fat, disgusting smile on your face and that fake worry look that I can't stand, it makes me sick when I see it, is because you thought that you got the people of Ontario completely wrapped under the coals. You had them wrapped around your fat finger. You had them wrapped around your fat finger, and then you exposed your weakness, and the libtards who thought they could control you, they went back to where they came from. And we, who long ago abandoned you, we continued abandoning you, and your poll numbers went down. And now you want to come out. You can't be all big and bad and hard ass now. Oh, you're a Yahoo. You're smart of a French fry, and we're gonna arrest Arana Nation, and we're gonna arrest Adam Skelly, and we're gonna have horses all over his restaurant. We're gonna change the locks on his restaurant, and we'll do it again if we have to. I'm the biggest, baddest SOB on the planet, and no one's gonna mess with me. And now that your poll numbers are going down, you want to come. Let me drink my water. I'm sorry, folks. Shut up, Doug. You're not crying. Where's the tears? When somebody cries, don't they usually wipe up their eyes? Where's your tears? You're not crying. What a act.
Which we did on the weekend. And again, when it comes to playgrounds, the people were telling me limit the mobility. And we corrected that. I've never locked down the parks. The parks have always been open.
Excuse me. Now he's lying on. This guy is going to hell in a handbasket. This guy is lying now. This guy's lying. Now he's lying. The parks were locked down on many occasions. Anyhow, a woman wanted to go on the park with her children, you would send police after her to assault her, rip up her clothing, tear her down to the ground, and all kind of things in front of her children. Now you're lying. This guy needs to go to hell, man. You should have died instead of your brother, man.
Unit. if they want to lock down the parks, or if they want to, close things, that's their choice. But I think we've done the right decision. And again, the reason I'm here and I'm apologizing, because we moved too quick with
No,
having
you're
people.
only doing that because your poll numbers are going down. Your poll numbers are going down. You think that people are going to forgive you. I'm not going to forgive you. Now, I'm not forgiving you. There's nothing you can do to get me to forgive you. Nothing you can do. Nothing.
Being pulled over per se, you call it carding, but I want to tell the people of Ontario, I've never, ever directed the police. I never have, I never will. The police have the discretion in their powers.
And they shouldn't. And you put that there. That's the problem. You put that discretion there. It's because of you. You said you originally wanted the police to go after anybody on the street to ask them where they live and what their address is, which I wasn't going to follow. I mean, it was going to be another big bust up. I'm telling you, I wasn't going to follow that. I would have lied through my teeth. I would have told them I'm doing Uber. But now you're saying if the police think that there's reason to believe that there's a gathering going on, they can stop you and ask questions. Well, I'm still not going to tell them the truth. I will lie through my teeth I will lie, revolutionary lie, okay? That's called a revolutionary. I will do it 100%. I will tell them I'm doing Uber or something like that. You're not gonna get, and you're not gonna know where I live either. So that's Doug's Ford's. I'm not gonna, don't forgive him. The people of Ontario, don't forgive Doug the domesticated house slave Ford. I'm telling you, don't forgive him. He's a liar. He's going to hell. He's nothing. He's a snake in the grass. He should have died instead of his brother. Let him continue crying those fake tears. We're going to make this boy cry some real tears. That's what we're going to make him do. That's what I'm going to make him cry some real tears. I'm going to make him cry some real tears. Some real tears where tears are streaming down his cheeks. That's what I'm going to start to see. None of this fake crying. I'm going to show you some real, I'll give you something to cry for, Doug. Domesticated house slave Ford, and all those idiots there who thought you were doing the right thing. I'm gonna make them cry too. We're winning. You are losing, and I'm determined to win this one. You hear me? I'm determined to win this. Doug is going to lose because he's now beginning to realize, and the people are beginning to realize, that we have nothing to lose, but Doug Ford has everything to lose, and we have everything to gain. As long as we don't allow him to get what he wants, we will always win. He can kill us all. He can arrest us all. He can make us all lose our jobs. But at the end of the day, if he does something like that, then the New World Order comes crashing down, because the New World Order and power and dictators, they rely on a population which is relatively functioning. If it's not functioning, they can't run anything. So there's Doug Ford there. Don't forgive him, okay? Don't forgive. I'm pleading with the people of Ontario. Don't be the chump. Don't be the chump that gets beaten by your man. And then when he comes crawling back to you with flowers and chocolates and jewelry, you say, oh, I've forgotten about the beating. I forgot about the hitting. I forgot about the cheating. I forgot the fact that you spit in my face. I'm going to take you back every single time you come crying back to me with flowers and chocolates and jewelry and necklaces. I'm going to forget all of the abuse you gave me. I'm going to come right back into your arms, babe. No, don't be that person. Don't be a battered wife. Don't be, Doug Ford abused us in the worst possible way. Not only did he abuse us, he was too cowardly to come and abuse us himself. He sent police officers to look what he did to me. Y'all saw what he did to me. You all saw what he did to Adam Skelly. You saw what he did with his chicken neck friend, chicken chin friend John Tory. You saw what he did. You saw it. You saw what they did to the people on Young Dundas Square. Didn't you see it? Didn't you see what he did to Randy Hillier? Did you see what he did to Roman Barber? Did you see what he did to Belinda? Did you see what he did to all these people? Don't take him back. Don't take him back. He's now caught in a vulnerable position, and don't take him back. Don't take him back. Disown him. He's an anchor. because when the high tide comes, we won't even be able to swim. So I ain't taking him back. This is the